Hi guys, Blake and Levi here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful Upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Thursday, the 22nd, I think. Oh, we got power. And hand me the other fly rod actually. And we're gonna do the one cast for you today. Today I boated up here. We are just a little bit below the cable. And we're gonna try a couple different things. Ooh, this is weird. This foot pedal is interesting. This is my first time using the foot pedal on the Garmin Force trolling motor, so bear with me today, guys. Today, I'm gonna throw, I have two scuds on. I have a size 14 rainbow gray scud and a size 16 peppy gray scud on the bottom. I've got those about 12-14 inches apart, and then I've got a 0.6 gram split shot about 12 inches above the top fly. I'm going to set that at about 11 to 12 foot deep. They are running 90 megawatts of water, so requires a little bit heavier weight, a little bit more distance between the flies, and a longer leader. I'm using 5X tippet and a big old giant carrot float. Alright, I came up here yesterday and did some fishing, and they were biting the scuds pretty well. Levi is, you're not going to throw your rod? Levi is also going to throw a double scud rig. That one has two size 14s, a peppy and a rainbow, both gray scuds. And we're gonna see if we can get any bites here. What I'm looking for is to get that weight all the way to the bottom so that the weight is ticking the bottom and the flies are bouncing up behind it. And I can see my bobbers getting pulled a little bit there, so I know that I'm hitting the bottom. Did you go ahead and increase the length of your indicator there? Yeah. Oh, let's see. I had varied fishing reports. Oh, that was one. Oh, no. Well, you want to use your spin cast rod so I can use that fly rod? Okay, so I'm gonna call that a miss there on the one cast. I set the hook too hard and he broke my tippet. So I'm gonna switch to the fly rod Levi was using, and I'm gonna throw this one. Anyway, varied fishing reports today. Had some people saying they were struggling. We had a couple that went down by the bridges at the landing and said they caught 9 or 10 in just 1 hour using pink power bait. I believe night crawlers have still been doing the trick. They had the water off all of last night and into today. Levi is now using a 4-pound test with a 3/32 ounce sculpin feathers, sculpin head jig. We sent quite a few boats out today for a Thursday in late October, and then just quite a few more out on the water. I think we passed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's at least 7 boats up here at the dam right now. Got a decent wind blowing us. We went Levi and I and a few other buddies, we went fishing last night. We came up here at the dam after they turned the water off and waited. I threw my fly rod last night and stripped a variety of streamers and a couple mouse patterns. And they used the Signature Series jerk baits, and they caught a lot more fish than I did. But I did finally, I had a few bites on the mouse. I had never tried a mouse before. I really just wanted to try it, see what it was about. I did have a few blow it up off the top of the water, but couldn't connect with any of them. And then I tried a variety of woolly buggers and leeches, and right at the end of the night in the last hour, I started catching fish kind of left and right on a black PMS, which is a type of streamer, for those of you who don't know. And they were hitting that really good. I wish I had switched to that at the beginning of the night. And then the night before that, I was up here waiting again and was stripping black woolly buggers over the shallow rocks that are out in front of outlet 3 and caught 3 fish over 20 inches. The biggest one was a rainbow that was 24 inches. Oh! Bennett Springs, I know I talked to you guys last Wednesday, or Wednesday before last, about going on vacation and going to fish at Bennett. Turns out that the mega worm was the hot item there. I caught, I don't know, probably 50 or 60 fish on the mega worm. And I threw the Signature Series Rainbow 762 jerkbait for a while and caught quite a few fish on that just in a 30-minute period up there at Bennett in Zone 2. So nothing real big, but lots of fun, caught lots of fish, and I had a good time fishing with my dad. They are actually switching it up tonight. They have been turning the water off at night, and they are planning on running it at least until midnight. I didn't look at tomorrow's schedule to see if it keeps going, but I do know at least tonight until midnight they're going to run that 2 units. So we're going to get in the boat and come up here tonight and try our hand at spot. Oh my gosh, I'm missing fish left and right. Try our hands at spot locking a little bit and swinging some jerk baits. You guys doing all right today? Hey, the guys next to us are hooked up. What are you using?
A secret weapon.
Secret weapon, all right. They're not divulging any information on the one cast today. Do what? Trolling Rapalas, there you go. That is another method we use out here quite a bit, trolling jerk baits, and looks like it's working today.
We love it.
Hey, trolling jerk baits is one of my favorite things. You got a log coming up right there.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Hang on, Dale. Not bad.
It's hard to remember when you got a fish on.
There we go.
All right. So they're just slowly trolling upstream and dragging Rapalas behind the boat, and they got a fish on there. just bring my scuds in here and make sure they're not all mossed up, which they look good. We have had some pretty rough moss this year, but it is slowly starting to clear out. As the moss stops growing up at Table Rock, it'll stop flowing through the generators, and then if they keep running the generators for, you know, at least a few hours a day, they've been running it at least 6 to 8 hours each day for the last week now. Our moss, some of our moss on the bottom that's grown will clear out, and it seems like it's starting to do that. So whoa, I am not used to a foot pedal being so easy to move with your foot. I'm gonna have to play around with that mouse pattern. I did get a few good hits. I just don't know. I've never worked one before. I don't know if I was working it right or if I was working it in the right spot or anything like that. I do know that a heavier fly rod would have been ideal. I was using a 5 weight and it was hard to really get it out there. So I'm thinking maybe maybe a 7 weight, even an 8 weight would have been ideal for casting something that large. It wasn't bad until it got a little bit of water in it, and then it was pretty heavy. So something that's happening right now is I'm not man, there we go. I'm not seeing my indicator tick the bottom very much. So something I would do if I was just out here fishing or had more time is I would take my rig apart and add more leader, because this one I think was a little bit shorter and I didn't have time to re-rig it before I left the dock, and the one that I did rig up I broke off on a fish immediately. So I do know I got some shallower water coming up here real quick, so I'm just gonna hope for the best once I get to the shallower water. Jerk that thing quick. There's a log there. You're probably clear of it now. Hey, it looks like the wind finally died down. Had a nice warm day today, probably mid 80s going on upper 80s. And there's some rain in the forecast for tomorrow, and then it looks like we're gonna have a little bit cooler of a week. I think I saw one day there was a high of 45 and a low in the 30s. Getting to feel a little more like October. I was really hoping that when I went through that shallow spot I'd find one hungry fish here, and it looks like I may have found him. I might need you to net this in a second, but don't give up fishing yet. He might throw the hook too. He's doing a lot of head shaking there. I might be able to net him. Come here, buddy. looks like he took the bottom scud, which was the peppy gray. And he took it right in the corner of the mouth. Oh boy, I did not mean to do that. Well, I went to pick him up and he did the squirm and flew right into the water. And darn it. Some of them trout are just, they do not like the camera. Not at all. It's getting just a little too dark to have sunglasses on. That's a little better. Whoop. You gotta be really careful when you're casting these double rigs that are set up for these heavier flows, the faster flows, because you got all that leader, number one, that you're, oh, that was a bite, that you're casting underneath your indicator, and then you've got a heavier weight on there and it wants to whip around once you sling the line back. So what I like to do is, I can't remember what the name of the cast is, but you bring the sideways and then you roll it over the top. And that usually keeps tension and keeps it straight the whole time and prevents you from taking a chance of doing the traditional 10-2 and whipping it and getting that indicator to wrap that extra long leader around. And I'm gonna pull my line up here for a second. This tree I know sticks out farther than it appears to. Oh, Levi's hooked up. This water, that kind of this little eddy that runs off the backside of this tree, can be a great spot for fish to hold, especially whenever they're running more water. You got a nice one? You need a net, man? We'll net him anyway. We need to get one in front of the camera today. That's oh, you jerked it at the last second. All right, the fish are really not photogenic today. Really camera shy. All right, so the Scuds got one and the jigs have got one. And so I'm holding my boat right on the outside of this seam and I'm fishing my Scuds right inside of the riffling water coming off the edge of that tree, hoping that there's some held up in here. And then here shortly we'll be coming up on the trophy run island and flat. I can see some fish out there. There he was, he came for it too. I can see him rolling and eating stuff drifting by, and that one took my Scud and I was just not fast enough. Didn't want it bad enough. Well, they're definitely biting the Scud pretty good. My hook setting abilities are just not there with them. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Sunset's getting shorter every day. It's been getting pretty dark just right around 7, and I know the time changes in less than a month, and then it'll get dark at 5:30. No, I had that one. I felt him shake his head. Oh, man. I think somebody sold me a bent hook. Oh, Levi's hooked up again. The old sculpin jig is getting some action today. That is a custom built rod for jigging that Levi's using. Microfill built it for him. It's a 7-foot medium light action rod. Oh, I got one. Oh, I was trying to hear. Actually, you. Oh gosh, what have I done? There we go.
What have you done?
All right, once you get that one unhooked and out of the net, go ahead and walk around here and show them to the camera. We got doubles, that counts. Oh no! I'm really starting to think one of these, I'm checking it. I can't stand it anymore. One of these hooks has got to be bent. Oh no! Man, I must have used the wrong tippet today. That fish broke me off. Well, that's 2 today. Do I have time? I'm gonna spot lock here. Maybe if I can figure out which button means spot lock. I figured it out. And a nice pretty rainbow. Ooh, that seat is wet. I'm just gonna tie a single scud on here. We're getting ready to drift past the island, and I really like this spot, especially for drifting scuds. I don't want to miss it, so I'm just going to tie a single. The one fish that I know I saw in my net had the peppy size 14, so that is what I'm going to switch to. And that's something we do a lot out here. You put 2 scuds on and fish them for a while, figure out which scud they're biting better, and then eventually you can go to just drifting 1 scud, and then if you lose some rigs, you're not losing 2 scuds at a time. But putting the 2 different colors and sizes on at a time helps you determine which one they might be eating better. I could have swore I used my really good tippet today, but maybe I accidentally grabbed that old stuff. Or maybe I just don't know how to tie a knot today. It's definitely one or the other, I know that. Alright, anchor mode off. You just got a little bit of light left here. Probably starting to get pretty dark on the camera, honestly. I've still got that weight about 14 inches above the first, or the only fly now. And that's still about the spot that oh, there was a fish. Dang it. Now I put a new scud on this time, so now I know it's not the hook's fault. There he is. I really feel like spot locking. Will you land that with the net for me? I'm gonna spot lock. I don't want to miss this. This seems like it might be a good spot. Oh gosh, what happened? I thought I hit spot lock. Apparently that is not the button I hit. Yeah, I didn't know they had 360 buttons, but apparently they do. There we go. That time I hit the anchor, I can see it. There's a light on the dash of the trolling motor. Haha! Go ahead and just hang him over the edge there. Well, found the honey lure. Come here, buddy. Another nice, pretty rainbow. All right. So they're liking the peppy today. That is good to know. Oh my gosh, I got fly line everywhere. All right, anchor mode off again. Let's try it one more time. That is what I like about using those double scud rigs, though. They can really help you pinpoint which one is working the best, and you can get down to the brass tacks and put a single one on and start catching some fish. Oh my. I'm so used to those trolling motor pedals being really heavy. Oh, there was another one. Now, in the shallower water, you want to work that jig just a little bit faster. Yep, there you go. Dang it, I looked away at the camera. Now, when you're drifting through shallow water and you've got that long leader back there, some of these are probably me catching a rock. But it all looks about the same. Unless they really just take off with it. You pretty much want to set the hook on any of it. Anytime that bobber moves significantly, just go ahead and set the hook. You're not hurting anything by pulling it and moving the scud. It kind of makes the scud look like it's swimming around. So you're not hurting anything by setting the hook on every bobber movement. Ooh. Will you hit the master power? Turn our lights on, please. Oh my, I am getting bites. Pretty shallow back there. Should be on the safe side. If you're not careful when you're drifting next to this island, it will suck you in towards the island, and that can get bad. And right now they're running the 2 units of water. It's still really shallow, but it's not shallow enough that if your motor's down that it would hit. But I can tell you it's really close. Man, where's that wind coming from? I don't know what time that storm's supposed to blow in tonight, but that sure feels like a storm wind blowing. It is causing my indicator to drift heavily, quickly, I should say, back towards me, slowing the boat down quite a bit. I thought for sure a little bit ago that the wind was dying down for the night, but I think I might have been wrong. Phil and Dwayne made it up to Grenada Lake today. We're spend a few days there doing some guided crappie fishing trips, and I think Dwayne was talking about maybe a hog hunt. I don't know if you got that worked out or not. At Grenada Lake, Dwayne's done that trip once, and he said it was really awesome, and they do a good job, and they put you on limits of 2 and 3 pound crappie, so I couldn't see how that could ever be a bad time. It is that time of the year, fall, where the crappie move up one last time before they move deep. So I know I was talking to Captain Pete a little bit ago, and he said that he's been catching some good amount of crappie on bull shoals and on table rock this last week or two. Well, we made it all the way to Trophy Run. I'm thinking it is a good spot to call it a day. It's also probably getting too dark to see the camera. So we thank you guys for watching today. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll be at it again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.